Alrighty, good afternoon, everybody. This is Robert at Scott Leroy Marketing. Nobody responded to my sound check, so I'm going to have to go on what I'm seeing here in my instruments, letting me know that you can hear me unless somebody wants to sound off in the chat window and let me know now. Speaking of the chat window, I'm sending a couple of messages there. To open that chat window, it's going to be near the top of your screen. The buttons are going to look very similar to this for you. It's going to be this little speech bubble icon right here, just to the left of center. If you click on that icon, it's going to open up the chat window here. I'm going to be sending a couple of messages through there for you guys. And if you have any questions as we move through the class, that's where you're going to send them to me. I've muted everybody else, so I'm not going to be able to hear you. So if you do have questions, send them to me in this chat window. And I definitely encourage you to do that because this is a really new class. So if there's anything that's unclear or if there's something you think we should cover that we can't, or excuse me, that we haven't, let me know there in the chat window. Excuse me. So let me minimize our little welcome slideshow here. So to get into KWConnect, that's KW International's education resource online. To get there, our first step is to get logged into mykw.kw.com. You can go directly to kwconnect.com, but it's going to ask you to log in there as well. So it's easiest just to get logged in at mykw.kw.com. And what's supposed to happen, and they updated this yesterday, this is a brand new thing. What's supposed to happen is you can click on education and it'll take you over to KWConnect. However, oh, now it's working. A lot of the time, it's not going to work. It's going to tell you to log in and that your single sign-on is messed up or something like that, and it's just wrong, so you'd actually have to go through a different way. And if it does tell you that, I'm going to go back and show you a different way to get to KWConnect. You can either just open a new tab and go to kwconnect.com, and that should take you in just fine as well. Or you'll click on My Referrals up here in the top left under your picture, and that's going to take you into referrals.kwconnect.com. That's a subdivision of KWConnect. And to get to the main KWConnect, you would click on the logo up here. And then this is our KWConnect homepage. We're essentially going to be working our way from left to right across this top menu here, except we're going to get started on the profile over here on the right after we cover the homepage. So if I skip over to anything after the homepage instead of the profile, please call me on that. I definitely want to remember to jump to the profile next after this homepage. Excuse me. But here on the home page, the first thing to notice is that down here at the bottom, we've got this notice here about cookies on your computer. You'll just want to, accept that. That's some GDPR, something about the European Union and privacy laws that got passed. So they're required to show that every time someone visits the website. And then for some other reason, there's another button to accept cookies. So we'll accept that as well. And you'll have to do that every time you come onto KWConnect. There's not a way to turn it off permanently. So coming back to the home page here, starting up at the top left, you got your KWConnect logo. And if you ever get lost in KWConnect, you don't know how to get back to the home page, whatever, just click on this logo and it'll take you back to the home page and you can start over. Over here, we've got our menu here. And like I said, this is what we're going to be moving across as we work through the class. So we'll start at memberships, work our way over to growth. Underneath that, actually to the right of that, we've got this little magnifying glass. That's going to open up a search bar up here in place of the menu, but that same search bar is right down here underneath the menu on the home page. This search bar isn't on all pages, but here on the home page, it is underneath the menu. Under that, we've got this ticker here of top agents, multi-million-dollar producing agents that have come to KW from other brokerages. We've got the Griffin Group, who closes $100 million last year in New Tampa from Coldwell Banker. And then we've got Sherry Juneja, who closed $32 million in the last year from in San Francisco from Skybox Realty. So they're very proud of these mega agents that have come over to KW because of resources like this, because of things like KWConnect and the app and the education and Millionaire Real Estate Agent and things like that. Facebook for Realtors webinar. Let me double check the schedule. Scott told me that this was supposed to be the KWConnect overview. (27th). Now I'm looking at the calendar for Friday classes for July of 2018, and it says the 27th is the KWConnect overview. Let me bring this up for you guys here. See, this is where we are right here. We're in July 27th, KWConnect Overview. So apologies if you thought this was the Facebook for Realtors class. We do have that class recorded, showing both on our calendar. It looks like the Market Center may not have noticed that we updated the calendar or something, and they had both events on there. So if you do want to watch previously recorded Facebook for Realtors, that's not a big deal. We actually have those recorded at slmtraining.com, just like this class here. We record all of our advanced classes at slmtraining.com. So that's S as in Scott, L as in Leroy, M as in marketing, training.com. And you can watch previously recorded ones there. But you're welcome to stay and join us for the KWConnect referrals as well. Or excuse me, KWConnect Overview. Referrals was Wednesday. Okay. Working down here, these are some banners. These are essentially ads from KW International to get you plugged into things that are happening at KW International or certain classes that they'd like for everybody to take part in or things like that. Like right here, Gary's birthday is coming up and they're wanting everybody to help celebrate. There's some nonprofit things that are going to be donated to and things like that. So definitely check that out. Underneath this, we've got featured videos, and I'm less than clear on where these featured videos come from. I can't tell if they're just brand new videos that anybody has uploaded. I can tell that by default, they're not just videos from KW International. What I'm guessing, my best guess, is that these are new videos from people that have a lot of popularity here on KWConnect. They upload a lot of content, and the content that they do upload, people like. People are following these people on KWConnect. They're following their content. They're liking their content. They're commenting on their content. And that's what I'm guessing these featured videos are here. It's new content from people that have a lot of influence here on KWConnect. And these are videos by default, but you'll notice up here at the top of this section, we've got this filter by right here. And you can do this by all types, which is going to be videos and uploads and worksheets and files and links to outside resources and things like that. You can come over here to just audio, and these are going to be audio uploads, and these are mostly going to be from KW International. Not many agents are going to be uploading just audio. Most of the time they're going to do video. And yeah, it looks like these are all from KWU and KWConnect itself. You can also go over to files here. This is going to be files uploaded by agents or KW International. Somebody uploaded their lore report that they use with clients. I'm not sure what that is. Somebody's headshot. The CGI huddle worksheet, that's something that's supposed to be done before the CGI call every Monday at, what was that, 1 Central, 2 Eastern, something like that. There's supposed to be a short little huddle class type thing before that call at each market center. Things like that. And then links. This is links to things outside of, or inside or outside of KWConnect that people have shared as well. Let's see, the lion roared, my talk with Gary, I guess that's the KW media room. And this goes to, I guess, Inman. Something like that. So this is featured, what's that called? Content that's been uploaded to KWConnect, and you can sort this by just from KW International, or excuse me, just from associates. If you click on the KW logo here, it'll take off stuff from KW International. And if you click on this one, it'll take that off and it'll show both. And if you click on it again, now it's just going to be contact from KW International. Links, videos from KW International. And if we scroll down a little further, this section here for upcoming courses, this is pulling from the calendar of all classes across all market centers everywhere. So it looks like there is an Ignite class starting in 3 days. There's a Lead Generation 3612-3 starting in 3 days. There's another Ignite class starting in 3 days. There's a MREA class starting in 4 days. There's 411 class in 4 days. So this is all classes that are starting in the next couple of days across all of KW. And so if you're interested in those classes, maybe at other market centers or your market center, you can go over to the calendar here and see other upcoming classes. We'll cover more about that in a little bit. And then lastly, down here, we've got some trending searches, hot topics that people are searching for, recommendations for what to watch. This is probably new, important content from KW International. And then we've got the Spotlight video, which I guess is going to probably be the most recent video from KW International. And then we've got these same menu options down here at the bottom. But before we go into any of that menu, I did remember that we are going over to the profile first. So let's hover over the circle up in the top right corner. This is either going to be your picture or your initials. It'll be your initials if you haven't yet uploaded a picture. And when you hover over that, we've got this option of My Profile, Notifications, Community, Help, and Logout. My Profile is where we're going to go next. If you have notifications of people that have followed you here on KWConnect, or they've commented on your content or something like that, that's where those will show. Community is communities that you're a part of inside KWConnect, different groups like, excuse me, Scott is a member of the Metro Atlanta group. There's, I guess, a labs group. There's like young professionals, luxury, CIPS, GPS, all of those types of things have their own groups inside KWConnect. And you can talk to people that are already in those groups if you want to get involved in those. And then lastly, we've got Help and Logout of KWConnect, and then Help with KWConnect. Let's see what's under Help here. Okay, this is going to answers.kw.com. This is KW's knowledge base. Okay, so we're going to hover over our picture or our initial here in the top right and click on My Profile. That's going to take me to this About Me tab right here. And this is the profile that other agents are going to see when they search for you here in KWConnect. We've got these separate tabs across the top here, and we'll go over each of these briefly. The About Me is just general information, bio, sales statistics, memberships of groups that they're divisions that they're a member of, like commercial or luxury or CIPS or something like that. And then the service area over here on the right. More information can be shown or not depending on what you do here in Edit My Profile. On my uploads here, this is content that Scott has shared to KWConnect. It looks like he shares content that we create a lot here in KWConnect. If you ever are browsing through KWConnect, you want to learn more about your technology tools, we do share some of our videos here as well as on YouTube. We actually share them here from YouTube. Playlist here is groups of videos that Scott has put together for himself to watch later, so there's not going to be anything here. Activity feed is activity that has been done by Scott or to Scott, so if someone liked his video or someone subscribed or sent him referral network requests, which he's not going to respond to. He's not an agent. He can't work with referral network requests. Those are going to be here under activity feed. And then I guess when I clicked on that, it came over here to community. Referrals is people that have wanted to be referral connections with Scott. He's following KW Technology here on KWConnect, and he's got followers of his content over here on the right. And then we've got groups here for the groups he's a member of, and that was what I saw up here. Community right here takes you to this page here. My events is events that Scott has either signed up for, started to follow, or has created in the calendar here on KWConnect. Looks like these are all created by KWU, and I'm not sure. All office events. Oh, okay. Sorry, I missed that. Up at the top of the list here, this is all office events. So it looks like this is events from whatever office he has selected, and then only my events is events that he's in charge of. And then reports is mostly for market center leadership. I'm less than 100% clear on how this works, so I'm not going to cover this and give you bad information. We'll do some more research on this, see how this works. What this is supposed to be is using the calendar. There we go. Here in KWConnect, agents can sign up for and mark as attended classes that are from the calendar. And then from there, market center leadership, like the MCA or the team leader, can print off reports of which agents attended which classes. It's a less than perfect system because it does depend on agents to actually go in and mark that they attended this class, but it's, you know, something to get started on. And then my achievements is different things about adding content here to KWConnect. It's not something that we're going to spend too much time on. So to edit the information that shows here in this About Me part, you guessed it, this is red link here, that's Edit My Profile. That's where we're going to update that information. So starting at the top here, we've got photo. That's this picture of Scott that shows in this circle and was over on the left on the previous page. The banner image, let me go back here real quick. This is the banner image right here. This is exactly, and you may want to write this down, 1,920 pixels wide by 313 pixels tall. So 1920 wide, 313 tall. It cannot be any different than that. It can't be 1921 by 313. It can't be 1920 by 314. The system will not accept anything that is not exactly 1920 by 313 in this section where you can upload a banner image. Right here. We do have a separate class about doing that banner image, how to crop it properly and things like that. So if you want information about that, just shoot us an email at support@scottleroymarketing.com. We can get you that class as well. This information is pretty self-explanatory. Email, business or office phone, mobile phone, you can make those the same if you want. Service area, and that's what was showing on that bottom right on the About Me page there. Here's the bio here. This bio is separate from other biographies on your KW public profile. So this isn't being shown to clients. This is being shown to other KW agents who are thinking about working with you as a referral. So whether they're wanting to send you a referral or accept your referral. So this bio can be a little bit different, targeted more for other agents. You've got your Facebook link, Twitter link, YouTube link, LinkedIn link, and Google Plus link. You'll notice that these do all have the http://. Most other places on KW, when you're entering your social media links, it only wants this part after the slash, but here on KW Connect, it does want the entire HTTP everything link. Custom tags, this is tags that you want your content that you upload to have. So any videos or materials or links or audio that you put onto KW Connect here, these tags are going to be applied to those so that when people search for things like KW technology or real estate marketing, Scott has the potential to show up for that with his content. You can add, as far as I understand, as many as you want, but you don't want to put in tags that aren't relevant to what you're actually uploading, just like on YouTube or on your on your website. And then primary market center here, this is only for if you're a member of multiple market centers. If you're just in one market center, you're only going to have one option in this checkbox. But if you select the other market center, like we're in Little Rock right here, if someone were to search for Scott as a referral agent, he would show up as an agent who works in Little Rock. If you were to switch this to Atlanta, he would show up as an agent that works in Atlanta. If you work in multiple market centers and you do actually do business in both of those places, unfortunately, it looks like you only have the option to select one or the other. If you want some help getting that changed, I would recommend just reaching out to KW International Support. That's support at kw.com, and let them know that you'd like the ability to select multiple market centers there in that section because you do work in multiple areas for referrals. Under that, we've got our email frequency section. This is where you control how often you get emails about activity here in KW Connect. So do you want a notification for each time someone follows you, or each time someone comments on one of your videos, or if each time someone sends a request for you to join the referral network? Do you want those updates in one email daily or in one email weekly? There's not a way to turn off notifications completely. And then down here, these are your sales statistics. So this is your team. This is going to come from the, what's it called, the Winmore system that your MCA can update. Memberships like CIPS, commercial, luxury, closed units, that's total buy or list. This is buy side, time with KW, specializations. So this is going to come from, I don't know where this comes from actually. Where do specializations come from? I'll have to let that percolate in the back of my head because I don't know where that comes from. Languages that you speak, this is going to come from your White Pages profile. Listing sold units, lease closed units. A lot of agents don't work with leases, so you might want to turn that off. And then time in real estate. That's how long have you been working in real estate, whether or not it was with KW. Once you've made any changes that you want to make sure to click Update down here at the bottom or up at the very top. Both of those buttons do the same thing. And now if I go back to Scott's profile, that biography should no longer have, that typo with the H there. And then if I had updated the service area, it would show that differently there. Okay, now we're going to start working our way across this top menu here. So memberships here. If we hover over this and then click on My Memberships here, this is going to be those divisions like luxury, international, commercial, things like that. Family reunion, expansion, whatever. And so if you want more information about any of those things that you want to be a part of, you can click on each one of those and you can get more information about those. Explore memberships. This is going to be the same page because Scott doesn't have any actual memberships here. Calendar here, excuse me, is what I was talking about earlier, where you can subscribe to different events and it's showing information about events across all of KW. By default, what it's going to show is, there we go. What it's going to show is just events in, actually, I guess I don't know what it's going to be by default because it saves the last one you were in. Okay, what are we going to start with? Okay, let's open up advanced filter over here on the left in this red text. So filter by location here. So you can choose to see classes that are at KW International in Austin on Mopac Expressway. If you're wanting to go attend maybe, Train the Trainer advanced class, they have that at Austin pretty regularly, or maybe a Quantum Leap with Gary, they have that at Austin as well. So if you want to check that box, that's events that's just in Austin. It looks like they don't have Ignite. Hold on a second. There we go. So classes in Austin, there's a Leverage series, Train the Presenter, Franchise Systems of, what is that? Oh, I don't know what that is. MC Financials, things like that. So these are classes at KW International. If I were to instead check my region, this is classes offered by the region, not necessarily by market centers in my region. So the region is a separate entity that's over several market centers in a particular area. So the region might be hosting a regional leadership meeting or a class for anybody in the region or things like that. So let's see what's going on in my region. Looks like there's an expansion systems orientation here. There's a power day, and these are being hosted by the region itself. We can also go and check this box for all regional events. This is going to show classes from any market center in my entire region. So let's see, Texas Title Commitment, Career Visioning, whatever. These are classes that are going on at all market centers in my region. Then we've got this checkbox for just classes that are in my market center, and that's pretty self-explanatory, what's going on locally in my market center. All market center events. So this is going to give you a whole bunch of information of classes that are going on in all market centers across all regions in all of KW. There we go. And it took a long time to load because there's a lot going on. There's about 101 things going on, let's see, that's July. So what's going on today? There are about 100 things going on in all market centers across all of KW today. So if you want to see what's going on in other market centers, you're welcome to do that. You can click on any of the individual items there to see more about that particular class. You can click on 97 plus more to see everything that's on that day, and you'd have to click through multiple pages to see what's going on. And then also under advanced filter here, you can check for commercial. So classes just for commercial agents, and it looks like there's not anything coming soon. Okay, so filter by owner. I'm going to switch this back to my market center here. Filter by owner is all events. That means events that other people have created and events that I have created, or you can do it just events that I have created. There's not going to be anything here for Scott because he hasn't created any events. Event type, you've got class, self-explanatory, ALC meeting, self-explanatory, team meeting, self-explanatory. Leadership consultation, I'm not sure exactly what that type is supposed to be. Let's see what we've got here. Let's do all MC events and see what's going on there. Career launch and CGI. Looks like that's what they can call a leadership consultation. And then you've got classes that are live streams, like this class right here, or other types of classes that don't fall under any one of those categories. Let's see what we've got. Okay. Oh, wow, there's a lot of those. Okay. And then you can filter by whether it's online or in person. Pretty self-explanatory, most of this stuff. Most of the time. Oh, also, if you're searching for a particular class and you want to uncheck all of these other boxes here, say you want to learn about, let's see, 30/60/90 or CGI or contracts class or ESO or FSO, you can select one of those here out of this drop down. Bold. Let's see when bold is coming up in all regional events in my region. Let's see when bold is coming up. It looks like it's not because bold is fall and spring. So that was a bad example. But if there was bold, it would show up here because we checked bold. Okay, my reports is, again, what I was saying earlier, for Market Center leadership to run reports on which agents have attended which classes, and then my training is classes that you have signed up for. So let's go back to just my Market Center, remove bold. apply that filter there. So let's say I'm going to go, let's see, Power Huddle, and I want to sign up for this class. I'm going to click Attend here. So now that means I'm attending this class. So if I were to go back to the calendar and go to my training here, this is going to show me just classes that I have clicked Attend for, and that's that Power Huddle that we just worked on. Okay, back across the top, we've got resources here. There's a lot of information here under resources. KWConnect Live is new, actually. Looks like these are live streams, recent live streams that have either have gone or are about to come online. Looks like they have classes pretty regularly about, actually I think this is a new thing. The newest class was yesterday. So they had a class about Kelly, and that was a live class here on KWConnect. There's one today. Let's see what time that is. At 3 p.m. Central. So that's going to be 4 p.m. here, and that's a 30-minute class there. So KWConnect Live looks like fun stuff. Culture is, if you've never heard of Mo Anderson, you don't know about KW Culture, because she is the culture director at KW International. And this is the kind of stuff that she cares about, things that the way that KW International and KW agents and market centers and leadership interact with people, whether it's our own people, agents in our own market center or across all of KW, whether it's people in the community, whether it's maybe disaster relief or things like that. This culture is how KW relates to people. So if you want to learn more about how KW relates to people, which is one of the great things about KW as far as I'm concerned, you can check out this page here about KW Cares and Red Day and things like that. Also under resources, we've got events. What is this here? These are the big events, like family reunion in the spring, mega camp in the fall, early fall. It's actually in a couple of weeks. Mastermind classes, Luxury International Retreat, the big events. So if you're interested in those, you can learn more about those here as well. Industry. This is how KW is doing or is relating to the industry. And these are quick links to ways that you can get information about what's going on in the industry. Like if you're a member, if you have a membership to the Do Not Call registry, you can access that really quickly right here. The flood insurance program, upstream, single dashboard to manage the data that drives their business. I'm not sure what that is, but that's something that they're working. Oh, you know what? I think I remember this from Family Reunion. They're working with several companies and brokerages and things like that for agents to be able to control their own listing information to get it out to syndication sites and things like that, versus having to be members of a board and work with an MLS who has basically sold them out as far as a lot of people at KW International are concerned. They've actually used those words, NAR, sold out agents. And so this is where agents are in control of the information versus MLSs. So if you want to learn more about that, definitely check that out. Fair housing, tax reform, industry leaders community. Connect with other agents serving in industry leadership roles. They've got a spotlight for a particular leader there. Oh, here, what is KWRA Industry Relations? Team building influence within the real estate and technology industries to position Keller Williams as an innovative change driver and ensure that any initiative impacting the industry keeps our associates first. So basically, they want to make sure KW comes out ahead when anything changes in the industry, and so they're keeping abreast of that. Keller Mortgage, that's a fairly new tool, and it's not available as far as I know in every market center, but they're working on getting it out to every market center, where KW has started their own mortgage division. So it's a new feature. You can learn more about it and join the lab and get started on knowing exactly when it's coming out at your market center and when it's going to be available. We don't have a lot of information about it because it is so new and it's not available everywhere, so we just don't have access to it. But it's safe to say Keller has started their own mortgage company, and agents have access to those kinds of tools. There we've got a FAQ, frequently asked questions. Speaking of frequently asked questions, you guys remember, click on this little chat bubble here to open up the chat window and send me questions if you have them. Where are we? KWU, courses, Ignite, most of this stuff is pretty self-explanatory. Agent curriculum path. I do want to click into this. There's a certain order of classes that agents are supposed to go through. All agents need to go through grow your profit share tree, customer experience, win-win negotiations, the 6 personal perspectives, and agent financials. I had not seen that particular list before. I had always heard it as, and maybe they've rearranged it or maybe I was told wrong, I've always heard it as start with Ignite. Once you're up to capping, that's where Ignite is supposed to get you off to. Once you've capped, you go to Bold, which is taking you from capping to the next level. And once you've reached basically the full reward out of going to Bold every year, then you want to jump into Mastery coaching, whether it's group coaching or individual coaching. But they have this official list right here. Anyway, speaking of MAPS coaching, you've got Mastery coaching, which is going to be one-on-one individual coaching from top producers and people that have worked with real estate agents for a very long time and have a track record of success. That is for really high-producing people. So unless you have the money to pay for that, probably not what you're going to want to get into. Probably you want to start with Bold and or group coaching. So you can click through all of those to learn more about those offerings from KW International. Marketing, we've got this whole marketing page here for what KW International provides to agents. One thing in particular I want to point out here is this logos and branding. If you want to grab either the KW International plain logo or logos for your particular market center, this is the page to do that. Let's click on that. So here's the style guide. This is a PDF of the way that you're supposed to be using KW logos and KW branding, the standards for how you're supposed to use them. If you don't use them the way that KW International has written out here in the style guide, you could potentially get in trouble there. And if we scroll down just a little further here, we've got this Market Center logos section. You can type in your Market Center name or your Market Center number. Right here, this coastal area partner is also known as Savannah. You can download that, and that'll be different formats of your market center's specific logo there. Not all market centers have a logo in this section, unfortunately. The market center itself has to actually contact KW International, have them generate a logo like this, and then it'll stick it here in this section. So if you can't find your market center in this section, have your market center leadership reach out to KW International. And then you can also get plain KW logos down here, not branded for any particular market center. This is for MCAs, and I'm not super familiar with most of this stuff, but MCAs know what they're looking at here. I'm not going to make myself sound dumb by trying to explain these things because I don't really know. Technology. I do know about technology. So Keller Cloud is what's coming soon from KW International. It's in development right now through labs. These are agents that are participating in these new technologies that KW International is providing. That's things like Keller Command, the new CRM, and the new calendar system, and the way that Kelly interacts with those, and referrals and things like that. You can learn more about all of those here and sign up for the different labs groups for those kinds of things. Where are we? Leverage. Leverage basically means hiring at KW. Leverage means offloading some of your tasks to someone else so that you have more time to focus on what's only you can do in your business. So it's basically hiring your first admin assistant or hiring your first buyer's agent or things like that. That's what these kind of classes and resources are for. So if you want to learn more about leverage and increasing your time that's available to do what's central to your business versus not so much paperwork and tracking things down, definitely look in this section. And then profit share. Profit share is the way that KW International rewards agents for growing the company. What happens with profit share is that you joined KW, you're a Keller Williams associate, and say a family member or a friend gets licensed, and you say, hey, you should come join KW. And if they do decide to join KW, what they can do is say, hey, my sponsor is so-and-so. They were the most influential person in helping me decide that I wanted to join KW. So what happens is now that they've named you as their sponsor, when they close deals and they produce income and they contribute to the profit of the market center, you get a portion of that profit from your market center. Just because you're a KW agent doesn't mean you get profit share. You have to have helped recruit agents into KW in order to get profit share after they've named you as their sponsor and they have gotten into production. So as you get into production, your sponsor gets profit share from what's that called? the profit that you contribute to the market center. This is not commission sharing. This is not taking out of your split. This is taking out of the market center split after they've paid all their bills, after they paid, electricity and market center staff and things like that. Then whatever's left over gets split up among the agents who have helped build the company as profit share. Okay, ask agents here. This is a forum. This is where you can ask other agents for help with different things about being an agent, whether it's technology related or scripts or appointments or how to get more business or things like that. You can also apparently people share a lot of listings available or looking for listings. There's a lot of this stuff, but you can search this for different kinds of questions and you can post your own question here. Ask Kelly is not an actual interface here in KWConnect. It's just information about how to use Kelly and download the app. That was the class that we had this past Wednesday at 1 o'clock. That is recorded at slmtraining.com if you want to learn more about how to use Kelly. My referrals is also covered in this previous class from Wednesday, and I'm not going to spend a bunch of time here because we are running a little far into our class. But this section here is a new system from KW International for a way for agents to connect with each other to find referrals that they can work with in different areas. So say, I'm in Indiana. I'm right on the border with Ohio. And I have this client here that's moving to, we'll call it Texas. Texas is a really big state. So say they're moving to Dallas, Fort Worth, somewhere around that area. I'm not licensed in Texas. I can't help them find a home in Texas. I can't help them fill out paperwork in Texas. So I want to refer them to somebody that I know and trust and know is going to do a good job with them in Texas. So I would come to this section right here and find an agent either that I know or that I like the sound of them from their profile or that I've heard about or that some of my friends have heard about or whatever, and send them this client to work with in exchange for the referral fee. That's definitely part of this process here. And if you want to learn more about how to do that, you can check out our class that we recorded this past Wednesday at slmtraining.com. We'll be doing that again next month. Not sure what date exactly, but it's supposed to be the third Wednesday of the month. And then lastly, we've got growth right here. Now, I do want to point something out here. Once you're here in my referrals, you actually don't have the profile section over here. You're in a different section of KWConnect. You're in what's called as a subdomain of KWConnect. So you would actually have to go back to KWConnect proper in order to get over to that profile. And then lastly is growth here. Growth relates to either growing the company or the market center or growing yourself as an agent, growing your career. And there's several different ways to do that. The first way here is called the Growth Initiative. This is how KW International became the #1 real estate company in the United States. Several years ago, it's been probably 8 or 9 years ago, KW International leadership introduced a program to market center leadership, team leaders and MCAs and things like that for, okay, we have these goals of how we're going to grow our company. We have specific strategies of we need to meet with this many people and we need to sign on this many people and we need to keep this many people each month. And what happened is through these methods, KW International grew to 170,000 plus agents. They're the #1 real estate in the country by both agent size and production in both volume and units. And this is how it happened, the Growth Initiative. So what happened is, and this is going to sound a little crazy, KW International told team leaders, we want you to have 40 appointments every month with agents to join the market center, whether they're brand new licensed or from other brokerages or whatever. And at first, team leaders said, you're crazy. There's no way I can have 40 appointments a month. But they held them to that standard, and now 40 appointments a month is the minimum. They want team leaders to have at least 40 appointments a month because they've been using the other tools that are provided in the Growth Initiative, like a pipeline and scripts and things like that, to get to that 40 appointments. And now that's a piece of cake. So they're they've updated that to, okay, half of those appointments have to be capper appointments. And that was a stretch, and it's still a stretch right now, but it's definitely doable because of the tools that are provided in the growth initiative. They translated that in 2016 to what's called the career growth initiative. This is using those same proven concepts of the same tools and the same types of scripts and the same goal setting and things like that to help individual agents grow their businesses, because KW doesn't flourish unless individual agents flourish. So they want to help agents do better. And so what happens here in the career growth initiative is you start out with setting goals. And KW International isn't telling you how many appointments to go on. You are telling yourself how many appointments to go on based on the amount of income you want to have in a year. It says, okay, I want to reach this amount of income. This is my commission split. This is my average commission. This is how many deals I need to close in order to reach that amount of net income. Okay, after this, since I have to meet this number of deals, then I have to get this number of buyers and sellers. And if I want to focus more on buyers than sellers, I just increase one number over the other. Or if I want to focus more on sellers than buyers, which is the recommendation, then I'm going to increase that number versus buyers. Okay, how do I get listings? I go on listing appointments, and it tells you, okay, I need to have X number. Oh, then you say, okay, how many listing appointments do I go on in order to actually get a listing? And you get a percentage of 25, 50, 75, 80%. And it tells you, okay, I have to go on this number of listing appointments per month to reach X number of income at the end of the year. And it provides tools for how to calculate all of that, how to track all of that, and how to get those listings even more, to bring up that percentage of appointments to listings. And it's a really, really great system. Not really something that we can help you with because it's individual to each agent in each market center, but definitely connect with your market center leadership about getting your career growth initiative started to set the trajectory of your career. There is a class, a call with John Davis. He's the co-CEO of KW International with, I forgot his name, not Jay Papasan. Is it Chris something? I forgot his name. I know the name, it's just not coming to me. They do a call every Monday for the Career Growth Initiative, talking about, okay, what did you do this past week? What are your stats? Here's some motivation. Here's how the CGI is working for these agents. It's proven, it's working. Your numbers could look like this too. So definitely check that out. And then if you want to get into leadership at the market center level or regional level or international level, you can look there. I'm not sure why these are different. And then expansion. Expansion is a big deal. That's how new market centers get opened. Expansion system orientation is basically a class for how to open a new market center. And if you're interested in being an OP, an operational partner, and opening a market center, definitely check out this class here. The fun thing about expansion and being an owner of market center or market centers plural is that profit share and commission splits and things are set up in such a way that an individual owner of multiple market centers could potentially, it hasn't happened yet, but the structure is there, could make more money in a year than KW International does. KW International gets $3,000 a year from each agent if they cap, and that's it. If they pay for classes and whatever, that's icing on the cake. But from commissions, KW International gets $3,000 a year per agent. 170,000 agents, and if every one of them were to cap, that would be great, and KW International would be making plenty of money. But through profit share, the rest of that income either goes to the agent or it goes to the market center. And if there's profit in the market center, that could eventually build up. If you own enough market centers and there's enough people naming sponsors and producing and things like that, you could eventually make more money than KW International, and that's how expansion works. So if you want to learn more about that, definitely get plugged into one of those classes there. I do want to go back to search here. I'm going to go back to the KWConnect homepage here. I'm going to spend the rest of the time that we've got with this class on searching for content here in KWConnect, because that's basically what it's supposed to do. You're supposed to be able to search for education materials or resources here in KWConnect to build your business and be a better agent. So what am I going to do here? The number one question we get is, I need a listing presentation or I need a buyer presentation. Where do I find one? We don't provide a listing or buyer presentation because that's going to be fairly individualized for each agent. There is a listing and buying presentation template in eEdge, and you're welcome to use that. We have classes for that. But also here in KWConnect, KW International and other very high producing agents are sharing their listing presentations. These are listing presentations that people actually use on a day-to-day basis, and they work. So if you want to adapt one of these listing presentations that's been shared from another agent, you're definitely welcome to do that. That's why they shared it here. So I'm going to come up here to this top search bar, and I'm going to type listing presentation. And it's going to show me all types here. There are classes that have listing presentation information in them. There's a lore, there's value story and all that. I'm going to switch this over to files. Where is files? Is there no files here? Documents, that's what I need, not files. So this is documents that other agents have uploaded here to KWConnect that are related to listing presentations. So this agent, Mary Carol Adams, I know that name. Why do I know that name? I think she's fairly high producing. She's got her listing presentation here. We've got another listing presentation packet from Christopher Holleran and things like that. And you can filter this by newest first, or you can do highest rated. This is people that have had a lot of hearts here on their material that they've uploaded. You can go by most popular. Okay, so this is hearts. Rated, I guess, is different. Let's see, listing presentation template 2018 from KW International. That's the highest number of hearts there. CGI tools. Pre-listing presentation from Ignite, pre-listing package that wins the listing from Pat Miller, more CGI stuff, another pre-listing presentation from Dina Mitchell. So if you're looking for a listing presentation, that's how you find that. And then you can download that. It looks like this is, let's go to Dina's right here. This is it doesn't tell me, so I got to download it. It's a Word doc, so I could open this up in Word, customize it for myself, and use that on my next listing presentation. Excuse me. Say you were looking for how to use Kelly Snap. So I'm going to search Kelly Snap. And looks like somebody uploaded a file that says Kelly Snap rocks. That's great. But under that, we've got our video here for how to use the new Kelly Snap. You could do that. You could also come up here to just video. Instant Market Expert with Kelly. It looks like this guy may be a good producer, and he's got this video about how to use Kelly Snap. Say you have a question about share KW app. Okay, let's try just share app. There we go. Instructions, download your app and share it. If you want to learn more about how to share your app, there you go, it's right there. So almost anything you want to learn about how to be an agent, how to work within KW, you can find that here. You just have to look for it. You have to be specific about what you're looking for, and you have to know what type of content you're looking for, and you have to know how to use sorting here. So you can do alphabetical, oldest first, that kind of thing. Is there anything in particular, we've got a couple of minutes here, is there anything in particular that anybody has ever wanted to find from KW International or from another agent or something that you haven't been able to, and we can maybe try to find that here in KWConnect? If you do have something like that, go ahead and send it over here in the chat window. Nobody sent this in, but this is one that we get a lot. I want a business card template. Well, somebody has uploaded their business card here, and you can use that as a starting point to build your business card. Somebody sent or uploaded a link here to a card. I bet this is a credit card though. Express copy my business card, so that kind of thing. So if you want to see what other people's business cards look like, some people have uploaded those. Let's see. Let's search FSBO script. Door knocking FSBO script. That's the newest. Let's do most popular here. So we've got a a video here from Matt Fedek. I don't know who that is, but a lot of people like this video and have commented on it. So he has this script for how to talk to a FSBO for the first time. You've got a door knocking FSBO script. You've got another FSBO script right here from KW International. Let's try just FSBO with that script. Top Dallas Realtor and founder of the Good Home team. So this is a new video from this guy. Let's try most popular again. Yeah, we don't need to learn about Ignite here. How to use scripts. Delivering the right scripts the right way is essential in closing deals. Mega Agent right here from KW International. Negotiations. These are from KW International here. Here's that video again from Matt Fedek. So if you want to learn how to do things in KW and be a better agent here, this is your great resource. I'm still not getting any questions here or things to search for, so I'm going to leave it open for about another minute. There's not anything in particular else that I want to cover, so if you do have questions or additional things you want to send over, remember you can click on the chat window here, open up the chat window, and send me messages right here.